There are 13 energy centers in and outside of your body, below your feet and above your head. They're called your chakras. Your chakras govern your reality. They make your life happen. They're fueled by your subconscious thought, your life force, your sexual energy that exists in all of us. All creating from the vibration that flows within us. All consistent creation. All directed by the choices that we make. You have the right to be who you're supposed to be, so what's it gonna be? You are the master of your vibration. Feed your mind for elevation. There is no time for contemplation. The time is now. So what's it gonna be?
It's gonna be the grand rising of the matriarch. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it is. That's where we are tonight. Hola, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Minister SCG13, and I am filling in tonight for Minister Reddy from Reddy Ministries. And tonight we are hosting the grand rising of the matriarch, and we're talking to Minister Ojyemi. Minister Ojyemi from the great ancestral. Minister Ojyemi, could you help me? Because I'm the Queen Ancestral Palace, Sacred Ancestral Palace. I'm like, my mind is just kind of blown, so my words are everywhere this evening. So please pardon me for not saying our ministry correctly, not saying the name correctly. But I would like to, hold on, let me correct that because I'm just a little... want to give the proper introduction and the proper name. We're having technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, and so we're losing calls, and I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde, but it's all good. We're going to go ahead and pick this right on up. I'm going to get Minister Ojyemi back on from Queen Mother's Ancestral Palace. Where is it's a day? Queen Mother's Sacred Ancestral Palace. I'm Minister Ojyemi. You sound a little like it. Okay, that's better. Sounded a little airy. Ooh, we're having a way, but let's see. Let me take a breath. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Release, ache. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the grand rising of the matriarch. Tonight, we are hosting Minister Ojyemi from Queen Mother's Sacred Ancestral Palace. And tonight, the topic is, what does your character word sound about you? And for those that may be unfamiliar with word sound is what Minister Ojyemi likes to use instead of using something like say. So what does it word sound about you? What does your character word sound about you? I'd like to give thanks for this moment, this time, the little challenges that happen that make us have to stop and get grounded. It is important for us to share this message today. I want to thank the ancestors, the angels, all of the guides that surround us and give us the fortitude so that we could do the work that we do. I want to thank you. And I want to ask, Ache, I want to ask Minister Oyeyemi, please give us your prayer and blessing to the service this evening.
I say, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. I thank the divinity within myself. I thank the divinity within you, SCG-13, and the divinity for everyone who was tuning in to the frequency and who wanted to tune in to the frequency of the grand rising of the matriarch. Giving thanks, walking in thanks, sitting in the seat of gratefulness and gratitude. Thanks. Thankful for all those ancestral wounds who have walked before me. Giving thanks to all the wounds in my bloodline. Giving thanks to all the wombstresses, all the wounds, all over this omniverse, all over this motherverse. Thankful for the wombstresses and the wounds. Honoring those wounds. As I come back to the ancestral wounds in my bloodline, I call you forth. I actually bring forth your courage, your strength, and your wisdom to surround me, hold me, guide me, lead me, and direct me. In this bloodline, and as wombstresses, we decree, we declare to do no harm to any wounds, no ill will, no ill thoughts, no ill feelings, no ill words, no ill actions, no ill reactions or deeds to any wombstresses.
That's
In
it.
this bloodline, in this community, and in this motherverse. We will lift up, we will honor, we will inspire, we will awaken, and we will celebrate all wombstresses, all wounds.
That's it.
And I ask that you guide me in the healing of my womb, the purging of my womb. Because as I purge my womb, I'm purging wounds in my bloodline.
That's it.
And as we purge our wounds, we purge each wound, one wound at a time. Sacred moments, sacred wounds, whole wounds, the grail, the source and the power of who we are, the womb gestation, the womb tuition, the womb gestation. We honor you, wombs. We thank you. We will continue the legacy of the wombs before us. We will continue the legacy of the wombs after us. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we honor you. Ashe, Amen Ra, Mayat, To, To, To.
Ache 13. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for reminding us to be good to one another and to love one another and be graceful to each other. This is the grand rising of the matriarch. You know, it sounds so, it sounds wonderful, right? And it sounds like, it's a good name for a podcast, right? But when you're really looking at what that means and what is happening when we say that, when we call upon this energy every single Friday, what it is lifting, what it is raising, what it is evoking, it is a very powerful time for the divine feminine and for the divine feminine energy that exists in all things, not just the woman. Men have a divine feminine side as well. And so it is so important for us to have the grace, because everyone is experiencing the challenges that they have to experience so that they can evolve in their story. What does your character word sound about you? I'm Minister Ojyemi. What inspired that thought?
What inspired that thought? Character. So often, when people of character, when people get power, money, and has access to sex, it puts them in a different state of being, a different state of mind, a different state of character. So when you're on this spiritual unfoldment, when you're walking in your spiritual unfoldment, it grants you access to power. When you're walking in this spiritual unfoldment, it grants you access to currency. And when you're walking in this spiritual unfoldment, you have access to sex. And so often, those three are the ones that actually get our character into what?
A mess?
Unbeneficial energy. Yes, that frequency allows us to lower our character. So everything and everybody has a character, and the Yoruba culture is called Iwa Pile or Iwa Riri, which is Iwa Pile means gentle character. Iwa Riri means good character. And Kemet is called Mayat. And the 42 principles upon arising are saying, I shall not or I will not. And when you retire, you say, I have not. Morals. And, in the beginning, we had morals, we had principles. We lived we were communal. We didn't need police. We didn't need to be governed or ruled. We understood and understood what our character was. In the womb, the baby is automatically given character through the mother's ashe, through the communal ashe. They knew who that baby was in the mother's womb, and they build that character of that child. So the world is in disarray because we've lost character, we've lost moral, we've lost the true essence of who we are. And so often on this spiritual journey, we don't walk in character. We don't walk in a righteous or a beneficial character. I'm not saying everybody.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, what does our character word sound about us? Do we honor ourselves? Do we honor each other? Are we kind to ourselves? Are we kind to others? Do we love ourselves? Do we love others? Do we serve ourselves? Do we serve others? Do we cheat? Do we lie? Do we steal? Are we dishonest with ourselves? Because if we are those things with ourselves, then we are those things with others.
Yeah.
And so often, we don't look at our character.
Oh, no. We're used to hiding from ourselves for sure.
Yes. So at the end of the eve, and right before you retire, go back through your day and see, how did you live that day? What did your character word sound to you? What does your character word sound for this day? Go back and see. How did you react? What was your words? What was your thoughts? What was your feelings? What was your deeds? What were your reactions to that day? To each second, to each moment. Because if you can go back from the time you retired to the time you woke up, you'd be surprised at what your character word sounded. and how you carried yourself. You know, in the old days, they said, well, you know how you carry yourself?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same thing as walking, and you're walking in character, carrying yourself. You know, some people are character is very important to them because that's all you got.
Right.
You know, if you have a, how should I say, unbeneficial character, or you don't have a character that's beneficial, on this journey, you're not going to go too far. You'll go far, but your karma, your soul, will repeat and repeat and repeat until you decide
Right.
that you want to walk in Mayat, Iwariri, good character, righteousness.
A lot of people were getting away with, you know, pretending to be something else and, you know, like fitting the role, playing the role. But that time is over.
The cover is being revealed.
Mm-hmm.
The veil is being lifted. So you might think that you're getting away with something, but you're really not. No one gets away with anything. Everything is revealed. Now, we might not see it, but when you go home and you close your door and there's no one there but you, oh, you know exactly if your garbage stinks. Because it can be smelled. Now, a lot of people might not say nothing about your stinky garbage. A lot of people may not say anything about your character. They'll just let you keep on till you burn yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
But you know a person's character. They don't have to say anything.
No. Now more than ever. Now.
And people might not say anything to you about it.
Right.
And we're known to say, well, you know, they think they are, you know, listen, look, watch her. Her character is, you know, people talk about you, laugh, but they won't say anything to you about it.
Right.
But they know exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm. And see, now it's like the mirror is turning because it's a matter, do you know who you are?
Yes.
Because a lot of people believe those personalities that they create for themselves.
Yes. Now, we go back to the Matrix. You know, that's one movie I will always Wordsound about. Because if you go back to the Matrix and the Oracle asked him, do you believe it? And so she says, it doesn't make a difference what someone else says unless you know it. Doesn't really matter. So if you don't know about your character, if you don't watch your character, if you don't walk in your character, doesn't make a difference.
Right.
What someone else says, you know who your character is. You know what your character brings. So why should someone have to tell you about your character? But I say there's three things that determines a person's character: power, money, access to sex.
Power, money, access to sex. Yeah. And that's exactly the thing that is, you know, running rampant in the world now. You know, you look at they're targeting young people with sex exploitation. And once you get involved in that area, it's really changing the character of the human when they, you know, get involved in the world of sexual activity.
Yes, that's because if you have not been shown, it has not been revealed to who you are, you know, quite naturally, you'll get caught up into the power, the access to money, you know, that They dangle that carrot of money and success. They dangle that carrot of sexuality in front of you. Those are the carrots that's dangling. You could be powerful. That's why they got the show Power and our Empire and all those, because those are dangled carrots. Our people who have not been in a position to recall and to remember who they are, or have not had access to those things, they crave those things. But if you have not raised your child in spirituality and spiritual unfoldment, not allowing them to know who they are, then those are the things that's going to take over and have them walking in unbeneficial energy, a frequency that is not beneficial.
When you say
a character that's harming them.
When you say not allowing them to be who they are, can you give us an example of what that looks like?
When a child is in the mother's womb, that is the greatest opportunity for the mother to bring forth a spiritual unfold avatar.
Yes.
That's when she can create that child to be whatever she wants that child to be. When that child is birthed, there's prayers that the mother can say when that child is on its way to retire for the night. That mother can whisper prayers into that child's ear, so that child can be what that mother wants that child to be. When we don't teach our children, when we don't share the spiritual essence of our child and who that child is and what that child can be, when we don't give that child the opportunity to be in my heart, to have morals, to have principles, when we don't train that child to actually be kind, be loving, be gentle, to know themselves, to be aware, to spend time with themselves. When we allow them to watch TV, when we allow them to play on the cell phones, the iPads, and the internet and YouTube, we're taking away from the essence of their soul. We're not feeding them the true self of who they truly are. So therefore, the world is feeding them. The cartoons are feeding them. So if you don't feed your child, who's going to feed your child? It is the mother's responsibility to educate. She's the first guru. She's the first teacher of the child.
Yes.
If there's nothing on the mother's mind, what's on the child's mind?
Right.
If the mother doesn't know the truth of who she is, how is the child going to know the truth of who it is?
They can't.
If the mother, so if the mother doesn't teach the child character, how does the child have character?
They develop it outside from other experiences.
Whatever those might be. When I grew up in a household where everybody raised you, big mama, my dear, nana, big mama, whatever you want to call your grandmother, auntie so, auntie this, the whole neighborhood raised you. It was communal living. If you did something wrong, whoever caught you, whooped you, took you home to your mama, and then your mama whooped you. Everybody was there to watch you. So you had to walk in a certain character. You were taught morals. You were taught principles. You were taught not to lie. You were taught not to steal. Those things was unacceptable. You only had your word, and you had to stand on that. Well, where is that at now? Children are looking for love. But they're looking for love in all the wrong places and bases. If you don't love, if you don't show your child love, then the child is going to seek that from wherever and whoever. So your child goes to an educational institution that's not going to really show them who they are, their story, where they come from, what their womb is. They're not going to get a womb station. They're not going to get a womb tuition. They're not going to get a womb station. No one is going to teach them about who they are and how powerful they are and how loving they are and how caring and how no one is going to give them that but the mother and the family and the community. You know, there are rites of passage. Where the rites of passage teaches a child, you know, how to be an adult, how to go through a passage of when you become 8, 9, 10, and 11. The body changes. Who's there to teach that child about the body changes? About when you actually have sexual intercourse, what's that really all about? What that energy is, and how that energy is used, and what that energy is used for.
When I was younger, they had, in my culture, we had quinceañeras. And I know that in the American culture, it's like a debutante. Well, I don't know if that would be the same thing, but I know that, you know, a coming of age. And during that time, that's where you learn those things. But through eons, it transformed, and now it's just the dress and the dance and the, you know, and the party. It's not, they do a service at a church, you know, and then is out to the party, and there's no talks at all about any kind of learning how to be a lady, how to be a woman, how to, you know, all of these things that I never experienced that in my life, having a community like that.
No, I didn't either. You know, but there are some sisters who are teaching rites of passage. There are some brothers who are teaching rites of passage. We have to seek it out. We have to seek it out. We're so busy putting a basketball in our children's hands. We're so busy giving them a game so they can be gamers. We're so busy teaching them how to sing and how to dance. But we haven't taught them the value of their character, the value of their culture.
Yeah.
We don't have culture anymore. No culture, no character. No character, no culture. There's nothing wrong with giving your child a basketball, but give your child some culture. Explain to your son what his penis is and how to treat himself so that he can know how to treat the mother energy, the sister energy.
Yeah.
So because if the mother-son energy frequency isn't loving, that son isn't going to be loving toward any sister, waitress that he dates.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So he's dysfunctional. He's going to get someone, and here we go with the dysfunctional relationships. If a sister doesn't have a relationship with her mother, how can she possibly have a relationship with us? So here she's going to go seeking love, looking for Mr. Goodbar. And here we go, dysfunction upon top of dysfunction, because she wasn't taught about the value of who she is, her worth, her womb, and how her womb word sounds with her womb tuition. Our womb has a tuition, and it speaks. It word sounds loudly. But if you dim that door, if you tell them it doesn't exist, and they don't know what they're talking about, it dims your child's inner flame.
Could we talk a little bit? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Listen.
I was going to say,
No, go ahead.
Could we talk a little bit about that disconnection between the mothers and the daughters and how to mend that, even if there is no physical activity between the two?
Well, that was given to us, that the mother and the daughter wouldn't get along. That was perpetrated for a reason. because of the power of the womb, the creation. So if the mother and the daughter doesn't get along, that's the disconnect. That's umbilical cord to umbilical cord. So if I break up the relationship between the mother and the daughter, that means that there's no unity, there's no creation, there's no harmony between them.
Huge divide.
We choose our birth parents. We choose our birth parents for whatever reason. We chose them. Whatever karma you have with your mother is from your soul prior incarnation. And you're going to bring that in this incarnation. So we come, as people say, oh, I come to ascend. Okay? Well, if you're on this journey to ascend, someone has to show you what you're made of. So regardless of whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cat, your dog, someone has to show you what you're made of. Someone has to show you who you are. So the relationship between the mother and the daughter, the mother is the first educator. If your mother has wound trauma, she's going to give you that same wound trauma.
Yes.
So if no one has told her how to heal, how to go in and purge her wound, she doesn't know how to purge her wound. So she's not going to be able to teach you how to purge your wound. She's not going to be able to have an open relationship or dialogue with you.
Right.
So when you're watching that TV, you don't see a great mother-daughter relationship. But now everybody doesn't have trauma with their mother. It all depends on your soul and that soul. So when you're in the womb, you come in the womb as a spirit. And when you develop in the womb, you develop your soul. So when you're in, after you come to this planet, and when you spiritually unfold, is to see what's the karma between myself and my mother. Because there's karma there. There's karma between you and your whole bloodline. It's to find out what the karma is, bring the karma to a place of wholeness. How you do that is get out the way. No matter what your mother did, said, or didn't do, or didn't say, she birthed you. So in that, give thanks. Sit in the seat of gratefulness and gratitude that you came through the womb birthed. But also find out what the karma is between my mother and myself. Love her. You ain't gotta like her, but you can love her.
Yes.
You don't have to like her ways, but you can love her.
Yes.
You don't have to sip up the same straw, but you can love her and respect her.
When you think about it, you know, like when you really think about this relationship with the mother, what you came out of, what birthed you, to not have that relationship whole, you're never going to find wholeness in yourself. You know, it's like, and it really doesn't matter what your mother has done. You know, and this is why forgiveness is so important, because, you know, people, they will say a lot of things, and it's like, and that's why I wanted to address, like, when that severed tie, how do we fix it when there is no communication or contact, or even if the mother has transformed, you know, is now in the other realm, because a lot of times that really locks the individual into that trauma, because now, you know, mom is gone. They can't say what they wanted to say. They're holding on to this anger, this forever. And yeah, how can they release that?
Yes, they can. Just because your mother isn't on this physical plane of consciousness doesn't mean she does not exist. She still exists. Whatever you want to say, you can still say. There's a medicine that's called rebirth. There's a medicine called where you can actually go back and say whatever you want to say to your mother. You can rebuild that relationship. with your mother through rebirthing.
No matter what, huh?
Now, no matter what. She doesn't have to be on this physical plane of consciousness. Don't you have a room? Doesn't she have a room?
That's right.
A room is a room. We come from a room. So you go back to that room. And you heal from room to room, umbilical cord to umbilical cord. Now, will I tell you how to do that? No. That's my medicine. But there's a way that can be done. But are you willing to do that? Are you willing to take responsibility to bring that relationship to a place of wholeness? Some people are, some people aren't. And some people can still forgive themselves and still not be able to, I won't forget, then you haven't forgiven.
Right. Because every time that, when you don't forget, I was just going to say, when you don't forget, you're bringing that energy alive again. You're recreating it all over again.
Yes. Yes, all over again. So sure, forgiveness is the first step, but you forgive yourself first.
Yes, that's it.
Then you forgive her for everything that you thought or think that she didn't do, but you have to realize, once you can find the karma between you and her, then you realize whatever she's done to you, you did it to her. So you see that karma rights itself. That's the part that we keep forgetting. That karma is going to right itself. So if there's something in your bloodline, there's someone did something in your bloodline, karma is going to right itself. So it's either going to right itself through you, or it's going to right itself in that bloodline. So that's why it's so important to break generational curses, find the karma, and gently, harmoniously, and joyously soften that karma. We get Akasha record readings, we get past life regression readings, but we never find the karma. We never look for our karma. The reason you have a soul is because your soul carries your karma. Your soul is your character. So your soul carries the karma. And it's the only way that you can make your ascension is to transform, transmute, burn that karma, soften that karma. So when that soul decides to leave this physical plane of consciousness and go back to the spirit world, the heart is as light as a feather. So the reason why you have that disconnect is to find out what the karma is. Where is this karma at between my mother and myself? And if you play there's this movie. It's called Imitation of Life.
Oh, I love that movie.
And that was the first movie in the black community where the mother and the daughter did not get along. So you see how the media plays it out for you? You see how the entertainers entertain you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how it starts.
Yep. It's a setup.
And then so you go through life and you think, because your mother is older, she doesn't know anything, but that's what her wisdom is. So you go and talk. She don't know nothing, but that's why the wisdom lies. We wasn't taught to respect our elders. When I grew up, you didn't call an elder by their first name. You called them Mrs. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, or Auntie. Children now calling people by their first name. No respect. Say whatever's on their mind. No respect.
Yeah.
A child stay in a child's place.
I apologize. I'm getting images in my head. They're showing me how the food and the poisons that were put into things specifically to cause the dementia and the loss of mind and different things, and the relationship with the grandparents. It's like all of that was, designed to do what it's been doing so that people don't honor their ancestors or their elders.
That's why it goes back to the educator. Now, we live in an age where you can choose whatever you want to do. So you can choose to honor, and you can choose not to honor. You can choose to forgive, and you can choose not to forgive. You can choose responsibility to shift the energy, to shift your energy, your frequency, and your vibration, or you could choose not to. It's a choice. But to the ones that who are, should I say, call themselves spiritually unfold, enlightened, then how you raise your child is what that child is going to bring to your bloodline and your community.
Yeah.
If you don't raise your child to be loving, to be kind, to know themselves, and to be gentle with not only themselves, but with everybody around. Now, that's not to say that I hear so often, well, I didn't come here to be used. We all came here to be used.
Right.
But just because you allow somebody to use you doesn't mean that you have to allow them to take your kindness or weakness. We're here to be used. We're here to be used. What's the purpose of being here if you're not here to be used? In whatever capacity you choose to be used. Once again, it goes back to a choice. Character. You can use me. I'm here to be used. I'm here to move from kindness, to treat you in kindness. My character will have it no other way. I will have it no other way. But this is what I share and say about that word sound. Be very careful with what you word sound to the motherverse, because there's an algorithm. And that algorithm says, when you decree, when you word sound something, the mother is going to bring it to you.
Yeah. That's the truth.
So when you decree to be, oh, I am all of this and I am all of that I am, it's going to get you in trouble. That's why three words you should really be careful when you say N-E-V-R and I am. We are creators. So what words do you create with? And what words are final? So your character should always be in the creation state. You should always be creating. But you should watch your words, your thoughts, your deeds, your feelings, your actions, and your reactions determines your character. When they say the heart is light as a feather, that means your whole being carries no malicious intent. You know, they say the road is paved with good intentions because, once again, here we go with that word intentions. Who gave us that word? Who gives us what we say, what we word sound?
Right.
Oh, I intended to do this, but did you do it? Did you pay attention? So I'm like, I love our minister, our Gabrielle. Pay attention and mind the business that pays you.
Mm-hmm.
My responsibility is self. And my character, I am the book that some people will only read. So if my character is out of order, then what does this say? I'm going to share a story. When I was doing my drug thing and hanging out, there was this family. And we would get high together and do things together. And they would try to get me to go to Christ Universal Temple, which is New Thought Church, the Reverend Nate Dr. Johnny Coleman, first one that ever brought New Thought to the black community.
Mm-hmm.
And they would try to get me to go. And I'm like, now, why? We're doing the same thing. We're smoking, we're getting high, we're doing drugs, we're drinking, we're partying. You ain't showing me nothing different. Your character's doing the same thing my character's doing. So why would I go to church with you?
Right.
Lo and behold, years later,
Uh-huh.
I'm about to lose everything, my job, my children, everything. And I'm in the cafeteria, and where I was working at that time, and there's the sister, my first spiritual mentor, came and said, "Can I sit here?" And she did, and I began to share with her the things that I was going through. She is the reason that I started going to Christ University Temple, the Reverend late Dr. Jenny Coleman, because her character.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. Her character, the brightness, she radiated, she generated. And she always had a smile, and she was always sharing. And, you know, when I say smile, I mean grinning, because my father said, watch an NIGGR that grin all the time.
Right.
But, you know, I just leave that right there. I leave that right there. But she's the one that helped me start my spiritual walk, my spiritual unfoldment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say about character. How you carry yourself, how you walk in your character, what your words say, determines your character and how people see, view, think, and say about you, or sound about you. But if you walk around, woe is me, when you walk around fearful, doubtful, worried, depressed, what does that character say? Who's going to want to be around you? Now, you just because, there are going to be times when you won't be able to be in the middle. But if you keep keeping your frequency high, you're off. That's not harmony. When your frequency is low, that's not harmonious. The middle is the harmony. Because if you keep your frequency high, you're going to burn out.
Yeah. Yes, that's the truth.
If you keep it too low, you're going to attract things that you don't want. So it's harmony. You seek harmony. You seek the middle.
Come back
When
to
you
the
purge
middle.
your womb, come back to the middle. When you purge your womb and you start looking at your karma, you automatically move the energy up to the heart center, the heart chakra. And then you have your orbit, which is your mind, your head.
Mm.
So often we forget about our character. And there are a lot of people who have forgotten about their character. They see glitz and glitter, and they see someone else whose character is, should I say, not beneficial, and then they follow that because they think they need to be led, and this person comes out to not be maybe the person who they thought they were. That's because you're not in your character, you're not working from your womb, so therefore you can't see who stands before you. But when you know yourself, when you're in your womb, when you know yourself and you're in your womb, you're in your body, you're rooted, you're grounded, you can see and you know all. You don't have to say anything. A person don't even have to open their mouth. You can hear a name and the frequency comes off their name. That's how powerful we really are. That's how powerful the intuition is.
It looks like in this day, what you were talking about before, the power, the currency, the sex, that trumps character right now. Like, people don't care about, they're caring about that money. They're caring about that sex. They're caring, that they act like as long as you make the money, your character doesn't matter. And that started happening a long time ago, when you're seeing, people say, oh, they're getting the bag. That's what they're telling the women now. She's getting her bag. So anything that she does, any way that she carries herself, as long as she gets the bag, it doesn't matter. And that's what has been injected into society right now.
Well, guess what? We could shift that.
Yes, I
We
check.
shift that by healing ourselves. We shift that by when we go and we do our prayers, that we ask that no room be left behind. But everybody didn't come to be spiritually unfold. Everybody didn't come for spiritual enlightenment. Everybody didn't come to evolve spiritually. So we have to be okay with wherever they are. But that doesn't mean that you can't keep and see the divinity within them.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the divinity within yourself, you'll see the divinity within everybody. See, that's the part that we don't understand and understand. When I see you, I see the divinity. When I see you, I see sacredness. I don't see anything else. I see interest. No matter what you're projecting, no matter what you're doing, I see sacredness. And if I see sacredness, eventually, if you're supposed to see that in this incarnation, you will. That's what I say. Even in the adult, as a mother, you have the power to pray a prayer to your child, can shift the energy of your child, even as an adult mother. Even when you have an adult child, you can shift that energy. But see, we was never given that wisdom. That's how powerful you as a waitress is.
Mm-hmm.
You can pray the prayer to shift your child's energy.
I wanted to go back and touch on the point of, again, loving our women through what they go through, because I just mentioned the program that has been put out there for that a lot of women are carrying about getting the bag and having to be, everything, and the only thing that matters is the money. And so, yes, there are a lot of women that we start to separate ourselves from one another because we don't want to be like so and so, or we don't like what so and so is projecting. And it's not a matter of us liking it or us not liking. It's a matter of what could we do to help it. And I believe that giving love to the situation and giving that grace to our, like you said, I'm im-ojyemi. I don't have to hang out with you. I don't have to be around you to love you. I don't have to, be in your presence to support you in your, bringing harmony to you. It's about our thoughts and how we think about each other and the vibe that we keep about each other.
And what do you see? What do you see about yourself? Do you see your sacredness? Do you see your divinity?
Mm-hmm.
If you see it in you, then you're going to see it in everybody around you.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing you're going to see. No matter what they're projecting, that's what you're going to see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to see. And when you keep that space, everything else unfolds. But my teacher, when I was up under her, she had a saying, creating one sacred space, creating a sacred space one person at a time. But it took me a couple of years to truly understand what they meant, but I realized once I did, I'm the sacred space.
Mm-hmm.
When you know that you're sacred and divine, then everything else falls into place.
That's the truth.
But if you don't know that you're sacred and you don't know that you're divine, then no one is sacred and no one is divine.
No, absolutely. No, you're blind.
When a sister truly knows who she is, it doesn't make a difference if they bring the bag to her. Whatever they bring to her, she's not going to sell her soul.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to spiritually fold. She's going to unfold and say, that's not for me. Thank you, but no thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? There are some who came to sell their soul. That's their karma.
Yes. And that's why we don't judge that, because we don't know what people come here to do.
That's right. That's why when I say the only thing I have to do is see the divinity within you, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
When I see the divinity within you, I don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
Because seeing the divinity in you means there's love, everything. It means that you are everything. I don't have to see anything else.
It keeps your load light.
That's what I tell people all the time. Yes. That's what I tell people. You can do whatever you want to do. That's your business.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. I don't really watch the entertainers, But I'm talking to my sister friend on the phone, and she mentioned something about, she said something about, something about Beyonce. I'm like, I don't know nothing about her. I don't know her. I don't care what she does.
Right.
I don't know anything about any of them. I don't know anything about Michael Jackson. I don't know anything about them. Some of their music, I grew up on Michael Jackson, but I didn't really know him.
Right.
I know his music, but I don't know them. So they don't have a place in my world because I don't know them. They're divine, but I also know that they're there to entertain you also. So you have to know what a person brings you. But when you know yourself, guess what? You can see and know someone else.
Yeah.
And you don't have to say anything. You just know. And know, well, this not my world. And that's how I keep it. I ain't trying to find out who shot John or were they depressed. Well, guess what? There's this Indian word. It's called Namaste, Namaskar. I behold the divinity within you. And when you can behold the divinity within someone and then someone else, what else is needed? Everybody puts their underwear on the same way. No one is greater than you, and no one is less than you.
That's true.
But as Wordsound says, we have the power to shift this whole planet. We have the power to shift everything. Why do you think, as a waitress, they took you out of the equation? Because they know that your womb is the most powerful thing on this planet. And when you become aware and you start purging that womb and you become aware of what the womb can do and what you can do, and that's your power source.
Yes.
Nothing and no one can stop us. Your Barclay Hill sings a song. The Sisters United can never be defeated. The Sisters United can never be divided. Fannie Lou Hamer says you could tell a race of beings by its sisterin. So once again, sisterin, Wordsound says, wounds, whatever you want to call yourself, you have the power. It starts between your legs. And if you're not aware of that, if you don't honor that, it still doesn't change.
Minister Ojyemi, can I sing a little ditty?
Yes.
I have the power to change the direction in me through sound. I have the power to change the direction in me through my mind.
Yes.
That's it.
I am animation.
That's it.
I am creation.
That's it. That's it. This is such a great time to be. I'm listening and I'm just so happy to be here with you in this time of such great power and to be able to give each other what is needed, this nurturing, this love, this inspiration. It's what we do. It's what we do as women.
Yes.
The one thing that I get chills when I think about it, I'm Minister Ojyemi, because in April we started this journey with the 9 chakras of 2023. And we started the grand rising of the matriarch. And, it just has been a testimony to my life. The changes that have been happening in my life. And you're talking about the character. I go, everywhere I go, I see the reflection of myself. I see the energy that I'm carrying. And I'm so grateful for it. I am so proud to have been able to unlock all the doors and find all the gems through the challenges. And I really can't say that I would have been able to do it without the grand rising of the matriarch. You know, this is something that was divinely guided, and not just for me. Not just for me at all. I'm happy that I was able to catch it.
For me also.
Yeah. Ache, Trevelyan, I minister, I drum her. Trevelyan Lee says, yes, I am the power. Ache. You know, this that's happening in the world is, you know, is greater than us because it is us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And
totally. Bigger than all of us.
Yes. Yes, yes. And so it is our responsibility only to man us, to make sure that we are good, that we are getting the wisdom, that we are getting what we need.
Yes.
And this thing of forgiveness and spirituality, because this is a really important part of all this. And I think that we've been talking about this through our studies, right? It's the fact that spirituality, one, is nothing new. Two, is not something that you put away on a weekday. This is something that lives inside of us. And so our lives is how we practice our spirituality. And it's not just when we're doing good. It's not just when we're doing good. And so we have to learn these things now, because we weren't taught that. We were taught the division. We were taught that, oh, you have to be, you know, the highest possible. And why do you think so many people trying to get high and stay high? Because they think that that's the way. As long as I'm high, then I'm good. And then when they get to that point where they're not high, they're suffering because they don't know how to come to that harmony. So I'm so grateful for the word sounds that you do on the grand rising of the matriarch, and the grace that you give to all of the I ministers, to the wombstresses, to the divine feminine that exists within our collaborative group. Because in our...
Yes, because...
Go ahead.
I was given grace.
I
was given grace. So why would I not give what was given to me? My mother gave me grace. No matter what I did, my mother gave me grace. So I'm going to get grace.
I want to...
Charity begins at home and spreads abroad.
It begins at home and spreads abroad. And I want to share with everyone that if you have some womb healing that needs to happen, Queen Mother's Sacred Ancestral Palace, for anyone that's part of the Master Vibration 13 layer, you're able to get, I want to say, because she's not speaking to everyone. So if you were interested in receiving some womb healing from im-ojyemi, please send a text to 818-233-5776 so that you can get qualified to see if you will be able to get the healing from her. And there is an exchange, and this exchange is available at this set contribution for the members of Master Vibration 13. So when you dial and text that 818-233-5776 and say that you need some womb healing, then I will be happy to connect with you personally and just give you the basics and see if you will be a connection for the Queen Mother Sacred Ancestral Palace to do this work. Because this is not something that is being offered that is like you do a session and then it's one and done. This is a commitment that requires your effort and you making the decision to do this. Like, we're all infinionaires over here. No one is trying to get anybody's funds. You understand what I'm saying? This is about your healing. And so if it's not a match and it is not time for you to do this work, then that's okay, because there's no rush for anything. but we just want to make sure that they're the right fit before we present it to Queen Mother's and Sacred Ancestral Palace. So 818-233-5776 is the number to dial if you would like to receive some womb healing, at least your first introduction to what this process is, because it is a process and it takes a lifetime of healing. This is just part of it. You're able to get some tips and some medicine and continue on your journey, lighter and with more knowledge and wisdom so that you can carry on the rest of the way. We do have a healing session that happens every Saturday, and it's the sacral chakra healing. I've been having an issue with names today, and I shouldn't own that. I shouldn't say that, actually. So we're talking about, and what I've been doing, and I'm doing this in collaboration with Mother of Pearls Ministry, with I Minister Symphony. And what we've been doing is we've been working through our own sexual trauma, healing our own sexual trauma. And we've been sharing it with Master Vibration 13 and with the people that we've opened it up with on this platform, that, what we're doing now on Spreaker, on YouTube, Facebook, different platforms that are having access to at least this part. So the things that we're sharing, with you here, this is just like the surface. When you have a connection with, or when you have a meeting with I Minister Ojyemi, then that's going to be a whole situation that's between you and her. This is not something that there is there's a, like this schedule. What is it they do in the doctor's office where they say, oh, you got this, and this, so we're going to give you this medicine, we're going to give you this. It's not like that. This is, everyone is individual, and your womb healing is a very sacred and personal experience. So this is not, you're not going to be in a room full of women and everybody's getting like this group healing. Those kind of things can be done as well. But what we're talking about here is the intimacy of your personal healing with someone that is equipped to give you the proper techniques and the proper guidance that's necessary through this process. Because once you start going in through this chakra healing, this womb healing, it is something that is going to bring out everything that needs to come out for your healing. And so I don't even need to get, do I need to go deeper when I say that? Anything that okay, so I'll give you an example. When you detox, and you go and you and you defecate and you look in there and you might see, worms and blackness and just tar, whatever else might be in there that's been sitting there in your gut system forever, that needs to come out for your own good, for your healing. That's the same thing that's happening when we go into womb healing, specifically because the womb has been under attack since the beginning of time.
Yes.
818-233-5776. We also offer, we have a private study group where, as you get this training and as you get these services and as you get this healing, you can go in there and get the information that you need that's going to help you through the process of your own personal healing. Master Vibration 13 has been here for over 10 years. So we're consistent in the work that we do. And we're not done. Not one of us here, not nary single I minister is like done with their work. You understand? This process, you graduate yourself through your own feeling of accomplishment through the work that you have done. When you're with yourself, by yourself, that feeling that you have, is joy coming out, or are you still having to self-medicate so that you could feel good about what's looking at you back in the mirror? If you could even look at the mirror at this point, because that's what it is right now.
Yes. Yes.
I want to thank our Minister Trevlin. She says, we are spiritual beings occupying a human body. For all eternity, spirituality is our first nature and shall be always. So it is natural that we practice and embrace spiritual while we are here, because it is our original state of being. Ache, I Minister Trevlin. I drum her. That's power.
Yes, I said.
And you are power. We are power. And so I am so grateful to be. I've been having chills throughout this whole time, and so I just want to let everyone in on, just something from what happens behind the scenes. So there are things that are happening where some people, people are going through whatever they're going through. So today's session, I wasn't expected to co-host this evening. And so when it happened, we go with the flow here and we support each other. And so we just do what we do. And so sometimes it feels a little intimidating because as soon as you open up that mic, it's like, okay, you're live. Everybody's listening. And you think you're not prepared because I know I'm always prepared. But I thought I wasn't prepared, so I stumbled. And here's the thing. It's okay to stumble anyway. It's okay to get it wrong. You got to get it wrong so you could get it right. And so at no moment was I going to be like, why she ain't here? Why she didn't come? No, what we do, we don't know. We don't know what's going on in another person's world. What we do know is that we support our women, we support our family, and whatever is going on, we send ache and love and just the highest form of energy to it, which is love. So that whatever it is could come to wholeness, because we are in a circle of women that we love each other. And love is love. And so the things that happen in life are the things that happen in life. And it doesn't take away from the love that we feel for one another. So I am so thankful and grateful for this training that we get to receive as we're doing our work. And I'm so grateful for that. And we're going to continue with the training tomorrow as we're talking about the energy that we attract through our yonis, through our vaginas, through our wombs. What is this energy that we attract? We're going to go into that really deep tomorrow. So if you would love, because I know you love to come, we're doing with this sacral healing the same thing that we've done with Wusa Wednesday. So very soon, not tomorrow, but very soon, we're going to be opening it up to everyone who has suffered sexual trauma, everyone that is dealing with these energies of self-healing and the blockages that come in the interim, through the process of it. This is what we're here to do, and we're doing it. It's not that we've done it. We are doing it. There's some things that we've done, yes, but it's a continuous process when it comes to, and not just sexual trauma healing, even though sexual energy beings is what we are. So all of the trauma is sexual. You understand? Overstand, understand? And so this is an ongoing healing of ourselves that we get to do here, that we are privileged to do here. And when we're able to switch that perception of what this healing looks like and be able to enjoy the process of being able to find the discovery, discover why it is that I'm doing this, why, I'm able to discover it. Not only am I able to discover it, I am able to heal it. There is no greater power than that. I am so full of myself, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Ache. I'm Minister Trevlin. She says, many paths to truth, and it's all God. Going with the flow is allowing spirit to speak through you, Ache. There is no right or wrong path. All paths lead to the great mystery. Ache. I'm loving it. I got chills all over. I'm feeling the chills. I'm feeling the love. I am going to yield the floor and allow im-ojyemi to take us home. And then we're going to end it with giving gratitude to our ancestors with the Ache Trece song. So again, thank you so much. I'm Minister Trevlin for being here. Thank you so much. I'm Minister Reddy. Thank you so much. I'm Minister Symphony. I'm Minister Jennifer. I'm Minister Carla. I'm Minister all of the I ministers. I know that I'm Minister Alma. I'm Minister Cherise. Thank you all so much for being part of this. Even when we don't see you around, we know we feel you. I'm Minister Gabrielle. From Crystal Bridge Ministries. You are always there and have been there, and I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you, and all of the I ministers that are coming. I'm Minister Smokey. Thank you. Grateful and thankful for your presence in my life. Ache. Ache. Gracias, gracias, gracias.
Oh, I'm just so full. I'm just totally full. Thankful and grateful and full of life, full of creation, full spiritual being, living in a spiritual world, having an occasion, human experience, spiraling upward. You're spiraling. Can you feel yourself spiraling? See yourself spiraling, doing a spiral dance.
Yes.
Just spiral. Allow yourself to be free. No script, no play, no nothing. Free to be.
Yes.
Take the shackle off your mind. Take the burden off your heart. Allow yourself to be. Build your character. Walk in your truth. Find your spiritual vision. Find your journey. Find your path. Walk in the direction that you want to go. Wherever that might be. Wherever that might lead. Find your tribe. Find yourself. Find your ancestors. Heal yourself. Heal your bloodline. Heal your community. But above all, love yourself. Ashe, Amara, Maya. Toe, toe, toe.
Take hold of the energy and ride the frequency. My soul makes the melody of my life, so I must sing. Every tune that comes through me brings balance to my being. I have the power to change the direction in me through sound. I have the power to change the direction in me through my mind. I am creation, I am animation, I am the brightest vibrant star in all of the constellations. I am zip, pepper, sass, punch, bounce, moxie, mojo, whatever you call it.